China unveiled its third and most advanced aircraft carrier in the Jiangnan shipyard at Shanghai on Friday, with new combat weapons that analysts believe are quickly catching up to the US. The ship, dubbed Fujian, is China's first domestically designed and built catapult aircraft carrier, according to state-run news agency Xinhua. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, a Washington-based research tank, its electromagnetic catapult-assisted launch technology is a significant improvement over the Liaoning and Shandong's less advanced ski jump-style launch systems. The new system, which is comparable to that used by U.S. aircraft carriers, will enable China to launch a larger range of aircraft from Fujian at a faster rate and with more ammunition. In addition to the launch mechanism, the Fujian has blocking devices and a full load displacement of more over 80,000 tons, according to Xinhua. After the launch, the ship will conduct anchoring and navigation tests. According to Matthew Funai-Il, a senior scholar at the Center for Strategic and International Studies China Project, the new ship will be the Chinese military's first modern aircraft carrier. He stated, "This is a really major step forward. They've put a lot of effort into developing a carrier program, and they're still pushing the limits of what they can achieve." With Liaoning in the northeast and Shandong in the east, China names its aircraft carriers after its coastline provinces. The nearest province to Taiwan is Fujian in the southeast, separated by a strait that is less than 80 miles, 128 kilometers, wide at its narrowest point. Despite never having administered Taiwan, China's ruling Communist Party claims sovereignty over the self-governing democracy. Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, has stated repeatedly that reunification between China and Taiwan is unavoidable and has refused to rule out the use of force. China today has the world's greatest naval force, and aircraft carriers are the most important vessels in any major power's navy. The large ships function as a mobile airbase, enabling for the quick and long-term deployment of aircraft and armaments to a conflict zone. China's naval development comes amid rising geopolitical tensions with the United States, which is attempting to improve connections with friends and partners in the Asia-Pacific area under President Joe Biden to offset Beijing's expanding economic and military dominance. Last year, Beijing reacted angrily to AUKUS, a security deal between the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia in which the three countries agreed to share military intelligence and technology in order to build a tighter defense relationship in Asia. The naval maneuvers, which were attended by members of the Quad, a resurrected informal discussion between the United States, Japan, Australia, and India, have further upset Beijing. The Liaoning, China's first aircraft carrier, was an incomplete Soviet-era ship that Beijing purchased from Ukraine in 1998, repaired, and commissioned in 2012. The Chinese military used the technological expertise garnered from the ship to build the Shandong, the country's first domestically built carrier, which entered service in December 2019. Despite the fact that China's two early aircraft carriers enhanced its naval might, their capabilities remained far behind that of the United States, which has 11 aircraft carriers in service. Furthermore, both the Liaoning and the Shandong were built using Soviet-era technology. The ski jump launching technology was employed by those two carriers, in which planes merely took off from a little ramp, whereas U.S. ships utilize a more complex catapult mechanism to launch its aircraft. Catapulted aircraft can take off faster and carry more fuel and ammunition, providing them an edge over planes launched from a ski jump, which must rely on their own strength to take flight. Despite the enhanced launch mechanism, Funai-Il of Cheese believes the Chinese carrier still falls behind its American equivalents, which have more catapults, a wider airway, and more elevators to allow for faster aircraft deployment. United States aircraft carriers all nuclear powered, but the Fujian is thought to be powered by conventional steam, which Funai-Il believes will limit its range. However, because much of China's interests are in the adjacent seas, this may be less of a problem right now, he said. The Fujian will need to be tested and properly furnished after its launch before it can be commissioned and formally enter service. The U.S. Department of Defense had originally predicted that the carrier would be ready for active duty in 2023, but that deadline has now been moved back to 2024. The Fujian packs a lot of new technology. Those new technologies will have to be tested. One of those technologies is the electromagnetic catapult system that aircrafts. This system has proven to be painful to operate at the United States Navy. What is this battleship's potential? Although there is no official confirmation, observers believe the Fujian is a direct contender to America's greatest battleships. It is capable of launching planes with larger payloads more quickly and efficiently. The PLA Navy's mission statement appears to be to build a strong and modern Navy and provide strong support for the realization of the Chinese dream of a strong military to realize the party's goal of strengthening the Army in the new era and building the People's Army into a world-class army in every way. Through the name Fujian, China is also conveying a message. This warship is named after a coastal province in China, and it is not just any other coastal Chinese province. Fujian is in southeast China, and it is the closest Chinese province to Taiwan. If China decides to invade Taiwan, Fujian can serve as the PLA's launch pad. The Chinese military is frequently seen conducting drills there, so naming the ship the Fujian is not just a symbolic move, it is a strong signal of intent. Wei Fenghe, the Chinese military minister, has also issued threats. He was just in Singapore for the Shangri-La Conference, which is an intergovernmental security dialogue. The United States Defense Secretary, Lloyd Austin, was also present. The Chinese minister used the occasion to send a message, saying that fighting for Taiwan is the only option Beijing has. If anyone dares to secede Taiwan from China, we will not hesitate to fight. We will fight at all costs and we will fight to the end. This is the only choice for China. I want to make it clear to those seeking Taiwan independence and those who support them that fighting for Taiwan is the only option for China. Stop the notion that Taiwanese independence is a viable option.